Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode. I believe this is 18, and this was yet another good episode. We're starting in the arc about these wishing stones. We got Evil Kiramei Silver. I can't believe I didn't think about that. So basically, they're analyzing the stone at the beginning of this episode while they're also simultaneously super overprotective of Brawhead because we found out something's going to happen to her based on History in Crystalia last episode. And we get a flashback of what happened last week when he explained what it was. And basically, like, the stone witch made a wish on a hockey trophy and Winona disappeared. Wait, that's the wrong show. The stone witch thing cursed Brawhead's mother and turned her into stone. And so he's worried the same thing will happen to her. It's a little confusing because there was nothing in the flashback language that made me think it was a curse on like all females in their family and he's just being over worried. I feel like it's probably going to happen though, or like she is going to be cursed, because otherwise what would be the point of this plot? But it just didn't seem like there was any evidence to suggest it, other than him just being worried about it. But basically, he's worried about the same thing happening, and there's something about it's supposedly going to happen in 7 days. Like, you're going to die in 7 days. I'm like, thanks, Scary Movie 3/The Ring. We get the payoff from last week when Garza did something to Silver, and I can't believe I didn't connect the dots on this and the Evil Kiramei Silver thing, which we knew about from scans a little while ago. But Garza is like really into this story from Crystalia about this villain using like a bomb inside of a hero for leverage, and basically Garza shows up and we find out he planted some negative calamity or whatever it's called within the Monstone inside him. And I didn't know, I thought they just got rid of the Monstone curse, and I guess like the Monstone is being kept at bay. What were those villains from Wizard? Whatever the villains from Wizard were, Phantoms, I think, where Wizard kept like the Phantom inside him. That's what it reminded me of. So I guess the Monstone is still inside him, being kept at bay. With the Crystalia stuff, and he basically activates that, and then it reabsorbs into him with the extra negative energy and creates the most evil thing you could think of. A premium Bandai item. When's that pre-order going up? So he turns him into Evil Kiramei Silver, which is basically just a purple Evil Changer and, you know, different eyes, like glowing eyes that kind of look like Gavin's eyes when he does a finisher. But I think it still looks pretty cool. It would have been neat if they changed a few other things, like maybe some dark shoulder pads or something. How did he notice these? I'm surprised this happened now. I don't know why I did not connect the dots. I knew it was happening soon, I guess, but I don't know why I didn't connect the dots between what he did to him last week and this, since I knew about it. I don't know. I'm the dumbest boy in school. Basically, they escape, but then they go fight him later in the same garage from episode 0. And Drew is able to briefly get through to him, to Silver, and he says, like, you know, you gotta make the wish on the stones. I wish he would stop saying it so loud. Like, I get it, it's in a dire situation, you're in the grips of evil, we all know how it is, but he keeps yelling, like, you have to make the wishes on the stones, you know, the granter stones, or whatever the hell they're called, and he's, like, yelling it right in Garza's face. I'm like, do you not, does Garza probably should know about this, right? But you keep yelling it, and Drew's trying to figure out how to basically fix the situation perfectly. There's something about the stone when he held it that he can't quite put his finger on, but he senses something about it. And Brawhead's about to sacrifice herself for saving Silver, and he's thinking about how they're both willing to sacrifice for each other. And ultimately what ends up happening is he uses the single stone to make a wish and get rid of the Monstone inside of Silver and cure him. And I'm like, whoa, like, I didn't know you could do one wish on, you can't make a wish on one Dragon Ball. It's not how the Force works. That you can make an individual wish on this, and Juru explains, like, yeah, Brawhead was going to sacrifice herself anyway, it was a no-win situation, but at least now we can save you and probably make wishes on the others. And they do a team roll call, which is just with this only regular pose. And of course, Garza makes the Monstone large, they all fight, we get an appearance of King Express and Jokey, and he activates that, and that was funny at first, but it's gotten kind of old. Like, it was kind of cool to all see all three mech together, and I'm not 100% sure why he needed it. He's like, I needed it for this reason. But now the plan is we're gonna transform the Shovel Corpse with Gigant Driller. I'm like, so why did you need King Express for that? But it was kind of a cool fight, though. Like, it was cool to see all three mechas together, and the way that they took him out was pretty cool. And then at the end, they say basically what had happened was earlier when Juru was fighting and he talked to Dumbledore in that like white way station dimension, he said he told him, but all he told him was to shine. He's like, what do I do, guy? What do I do, king guy? And he's like, shine! I'm like, what is this, The Shining? A fortune cookie? That's not advice. From what he was sensing from the stone earlier and then his conversation with the king in the Dumbledore dimension, he felt like he knew that the stones could grant individual wishes. So they can all grant individual wishes of some sort, but they can also grant wishes together. not to mention, of course, turns out kind of perfectly. It will restore itself over time. So kind of like how the Dragon Balls separate and then return, not return, but you know, become Dragon Balls again after being hidden. This one, after you make a wish, it like blackens, but it'll eventually return to normal. I think they could have, it just seems like overkill, like everything was fine and we didn't even mess anything up. I think it was overkill, the fact that this one will revert. I think it would have been better just to find the other ones and try to figure out which one would be ideal for the wish. But it still sets this arc on track. But it turned out to be like a really exciting start to this arc, more so than I expected. I thought it would kind of turn into more of an episodic thing, but like right off the bat, like boom, Evil Kiramei Silver, and all this stuff is happening, and these really cool developments, and I really liked it. My only real big nitpick is I kind of wish Evil Kiramei Silver would have lasted longer. I mean, you're gonna make me buy this premium Bandai item for a one-off episode, and I was kind of hoping it would last at least a couple episodes. I think that could have been interesting, having Silver work with his uncle, especially for the first few episodes in this sort of Wish Stone arc. I think that would have been cooler instead of it being a one-off. You know, the Dark Naga arc lasted quite a little bit. So I was kind of hoping for that, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But overall, I still enjoyed this week's episode. I would probably give it an 8, and I think we're off to a strong start, and we're having a good job, as I mentioned before, at keeping the momentum in this show. Like, we just ended Silver's arc, and now we're into this arc. And I think that they do a really good job of that, and it doesn't feel like very many episodes are wasted, so I really like that. But anyway, what did you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.